Hey there, CG Math students, and welcome to homework 2.2. This is a practice homework, adding and subtracting fractions. So again, the idea is make sure that your answers are simplified. You show all work. So I'm going to tell you how to show all work. So first of all, 13 over 7 plus 1/3. So put your finger on 3, put your finger on 7 on the reference sheet, go across, up. You find the least common multiple is 21. So this one we multiply by 7, and this fraction we multiply by 3. So when we do that, we end up with 39 over 21 plus 7 over 21. So this is showing work, right? Making sure that you showed what you multiplied by to get common denominators and then actually showing it. So 39 plus 7 gives you 46 over 21. And then you might freak out. You're like, wait a second, 46 over 21, it's not there. Well, it's probably because it's a mixed number. So 21 goes into 46, I think, twice, which will give you 42 with 4 left over. So your answer is 2 and 4 over 21. So D is your answer. So try not to write too big because you need to use the next space for number 3. So if you wrote too big, erase right now and try and write it over. 5 over 3 and 7 over 8. Put your finger on 3, put your finger on 8, go across, up. Least common multiple is 24. So multiply this fraction by 8 and this fraction by 3. So what do we get? We get 21 over 24 plus 40 over 24. That gives us, sorry, this is a 4. That gives us 61 over 24. And again, you don't see that because I'm making you make mixed numbers out of these things. So 24 goes into 61. Always denominator and numerator. Goes in there twice because that's 48. And then 61 minus 48 gives you 13 left over. If I borrow here, that's a 5. 11 minus 8 is 3. 4. Right, so please try and write neat like I have. So we have 2 and then 13 over 24. So yeah, obviously if you don't see your answer here, that means you've messed up. Just because you got 24 and it's a big old scary number, you have a reference sheet. Use it. Put your finger on 24. You'll notice you'll get to 48, and so you can go in there 2 times. But if you go up to the 3rd time, 24 times 3 gives you 72. That's too much, so it can't go in there 3 times. All right, 1/2 and 8 over 7. So multiply by 2. Multiply by 7. I get 7 over 14 plus 16 over 14. It gives you 23 over 14 again. That is an improper fraction, which would be an okay answer, but I want you to change it into a mixed number tonight. So 14 into 23. 14 goes into 23 only one time with 9 left over. So that's 1 and 9/14. Okay, I wasn't super pleased with how I wrote that, so I'm going to erase it. Just like you should erase it if your work gets all sloppy. 1 and 9/14. So A. Number 7. 5 over 7 and 1 over 5. We're going to say times 7 times 7 times 5 times 5. That gives us 25 over 35 plus 7 over 35, which gives you 32 over 35. Is that correct? Yep, that's correct, yeah. So C is your answer. Our first regular proper fraction where we didn't actually have to change it to a mixed number. Now, on number 9, notice it's subtraction now, not addition. So we're going to say times 5 times 5, but we're going to remember to subtract. Times 3 times 3. So we got 12 over 15 minus 10 over 15. And it's subtraction again, remember, so 12 minus 10 is 2 over 15. If I were you, I'd pause this video and try and do numbers 1 or 2, 4, 6, 8. Get all the addition kind of down pack, and then move on to the subtraction, so you don't all of a sudden do the subtraction problems and just keep adding out of habit. Number 11. We could multiply by 4 and 6, but actually 12 is the least common multiple. If you put your finger on 4 and finger on 6 and go across, 12 is the first multiple they have in common. So times 2, and times 3 times 3. So I get 15 over 12 minus 2 over 12, and that gives me 13 over 12. And you're like, wait, it's not there. What do I do? Don't freak out. 12 goes into 13 one time with 1 left over. So your answer is 1 and 1/12. C. Right? All the answers are here. So again, you have to show committed to doing justice. If you get an answer and it's not there, you got to erase and try it over. Here, all we have to do is multiply this fraction by 2 because the least common multiple of 3 and 6, if you put your finger on 3 and finger on 6 on your reference sheet, 6 is the first multiple that pops up. So we got 10 over 6 minus 5 over 6. And when we do that, got 10 over 6 by 2 times 5 right there. I get 5 over 6. So your answer is C. And again, 1/2 and 1/6, put your finger on 2, put your finger on 6, move across. The first multiple they have in common is 6. So again, all you have to do is alter that fraction. So we have 3 over 6 minus 1 over 6 gives you 2 over 6, and immediately you should be like, well, that's a proper fraction, but I don't see the answer. Because you got to simplify. 2 over 6 divided by 2 divided by 2. When you do that, you get 1/3. So B. Please make sure you circle your answers. Okay. All right, so for some word problems, number 17, a newborn panda at the San Diego Zoo grew about 9/16 a pound the first week and about 5/8 pounds the second week. How much more did the panda grow in the second week? How much more? We've been working with that a lot in the notes, so we should know, hey, we need to subtract 9/16 minus 5/8. 9/16 minus 5/8, right? So we can say, okay, this guy obviously, we have to multiply by 2 to get to 16 and make it a common denominator. So 9/16 minus 10/16. And how much, you know what? Mr. Mason read the problem wrong. So it was how much more did it grow in the second week rather than the first week. So I've done the problem upside down and backwards. It should be 5/8 minus 9/16. I'm sorry. So times 2, because the 5/8 was the second week, so we want to do the second week minus the first week, right? How much more did it grow in the second week? So we have 10 over 16 minus 9/16, and that gives you your answer of 1/16 pound, right? Use your units. And number 19. Kevon went home after football, ate 2/3 of a pizza. The next morning, Kevon ate 1/4 of the pizza. How much did he eat all together? So that's obviously addition, right? 2/3 plus 1/4. And then obviously, all right, we know if I put my finger on 3 and finger on 4 on my reference sheet and I move across up, 12 is the first one that pops up. So multiply here by 3 and multiply your other fraction by 4. You get 8 over 12 plus 3 over 12 gives you 11/12 of the pizza. So 11/12, we could say, of the pizza. Right? So you shouldn't just have a number on here. You should have units, right? So basically that pizza was divided up into 12 slices, and Kevon ate 11 of them. So there's 1 slice left. All right, so that's it. You're responsible for the even ones, showing neat, complete work. In fact, I want you to write that down to prove to me you watched the video. Neat/complete work. And if you have questions, you need to pick up the phone and call me. Good luck. Have a good night.